Alright guys, today we're gonna be reacting to German beef Rollenden recipe. Rollenden. I think it's Rollenden. We're gonna react to this, another one of these great videos that you guys have recommended in the Discord. Make sure you're part of the community, folks. You guys have to go to my community and just put these videos where a lot of people um, um, participate. It's just I have so many videos from the last couple months that I need to catch up in the food section. My goodness. There's one that is the music section. However, I cannot react to that because copyright issue. Copyright issue, I'm telling you folks. We're gonna react to this. Make sure you like to subscribe also for donations. Links in the description or a super chat will works as well. Let's jump in and see what's going on. Let's just keep torturing ourselves with good food. Let's go.
In a tasty sauce. Oh my goodness, is this so good?
Wow.
Let's cook. In Chef Billy Parisi fashion, we are going to start off by prepping up an onion. I'm going to be using a half of a yellow onion. You could use a red, a white, a sweet, or even a shallot. So after you slice it in half, remove that outside peel. We want to thinly slice it or julienne it just like this. And again, we're using a half of an onion. Now for the pickles. Gherkins.
Yeah, I need to step up my onion cutting skill. It's not as that beautiful, right? It's very bad.
Classically used, which is a small to medium-sized pickle. I'm going to be using 5 of these. Slice off the end, and then what we want to do, just like the onion, is actually julienne them. Now, if you like big, bold pickle flavors, go ahead and quarter these. If you quarter them, you are going to need twice the amount of pickles. These thin little pickles will spread perfect throughout our rouladen. And now for the beef. I have a 2-pound piece of top round. The other alternates that you could use are sirloin, ribeye, bottom round,
Newer
or
steak, no?
flank steak. Now, what we want to do is cut this in half because it is such a long piece of meat. And then
Nice
after
gloves,
you
huh?
slice it, we are going to take each piece and we're going to thinly slice it again. So what I'm going to do is just put it up on its side and then thinly slice 4
Yeah, look at that
slices
knife,
in
huh?
this
Cutting
chunk,
through like
giving us
nothing.
a total of 8 slices.
Okay.
Your hand on, or else it's going to wiggle all over the place, and the shape of it is not going to be too pretty. Okay, set this to the side on a plate, platter, or sheet tray lined with parchment paper. Going back to your cutting board, I'm going to lay down a big piece of plastic wrap. You could also use a Ziploc bag as well. Now,
To marinate it?
placing one piece of meat onto the plastic wrap, putting the rest of the plastic wrap over top of it, we are going to use a mallet, and we want to pound it thin. For size, we're essentially doubling the size, but it's still going to be about a 1/4 inch thick. If you're a little bit thinner or a little bit thicker, no problem, as long as it's doubled in size. Then just simply set it to the side on a plate or a platter and repeat the process until all 8 steaks have been pounded out. And now to roll this up, starting with just one piece of the pounded out round steak, we're going to season just one side with salt and fresh cracked black pepper. And then what we want to do is spread on 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard or a good German.
Isn't that funny, man? The only thing you need to cook very well, salt and pepper. The rest of it is just, additional stuff. But salt and pepper, you know how to balance it well. That's all you need. Crazy.
Ground mustard like I'm using. Now I have 8 total slices of bacon sliced in half long ways. We're going to
Oh my
place
God.
2 of those right on top
Lord
of the mustard,
have mercy.
followed
My
up
goodness.
with a little bit of the julienne yellow onion.
Oh my God.
Now we're going to evenly spread the onion through the other 7, so make
My
sure
God.
to use accordingly. Same thing with the pickles. We are going to add some right to the center. Now, to roll this up, what I like to do first is roll over the sides, just like they do at Chipotle when they roll up the burrito. And then starting from the back to the front, tightly roll it,
you roll
making
it. There
sure
you
that
go.
centerpiece is rolled over to the middle all the way until the end. Then
Wow.
we're just going to set it to the side on a platter or plate or sheet tray lined with parchment paper and repeat the process until all of the beef and all of these stuffing ingredients have been used.
Oh my God.
Now, using about a foot of butcher's twine, what we want to do is just wrap these around the center. You could absolutely do another wrap going in the opposite direction. I don't think you need it because we folded in the beef just to be safe. Then just give it a double knot, of course, and then trim off any excess. Repeat the process again for all 8 total of these beef rouladens. Now, I've washed my cutting board because I have beef on
Man,
there. We have a little bit
how
more
you
prep to
notice
do, and this has
he has very good hands, right? Like, and then you cut here, you cut there. He has very good hands, right? And then you cut slide here, and
to do with the sauce.
I think he practiced. He practiced a lot. Put a lot of creams in his hands.
Have 1 yellow onion, slice it in half, remove the ends, take off that outside peel, and then what we want to do is just simply large dice these. This is going to be used as mirepoix in our sauce. Set it to the side in a bowl. We have 2 stalks of celery that we are also going to large dice. Then followed up with 2 carrots that I've peeled, again large dice, just like everything else.
That gives a lot of flavor
set those to
too.
the side in a bowl. I've got 2 leeks here. Remember, you can go up a little bit into the green. We're going to slice that in half, then slice it again, so essentially quartering it. And then what we want to do is thinly slice both of these leeks.
Stop taking your vitamin C supplement until you...
We're going to transfer them to a bowl along with the carrots, celery, and onions. We're taking that bowl of vegetables along with our beef rouladen over to the cooktop. I've got a large rondo.
Oh, he's going to mix it up.
A large pot. I'm going to add in a 1/4 cup of clarified butter. You could
clarified butter. Never heard of it. Oh, okay, got it.
As it begins to lightly smoke, we are going to add in a beef rouladens one at a time. Make sure they don't touch each other. We don't want to steam them. We want to sear them. You may need to do this in batches if your pot isn't that big. After about 3 to 4 minutes or so, we're just going to flip them over. We're just trying to get a little bit of a brown sear on both sides, just like this. Once we flip them, cook them for another 3 to 4 minutes, we are going to come back to this pot. What we want to do is set each of these beef rouladens to the side.
Man, I'm excited to see how it looks inside.
Tray line with parchment paper, whatever you got. Now go back over to that pot. We're still on medium-high heat. We are going to add in all of those vegetables. And in addition, we're going to add in a small little bunch of flat leaf parsley. Now, we want to cook this for about 3 to 5 minutes. We're really just looking to get a light brown on there. You're going to get some of that fond off the bottom, some of those nummy goodnesses from the beef on the bottom.
Oh, that's going to get the flavor, yep.
It's absolutely perfect. And at this point, we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. This is going to help add some body, help thicken up our sauce. It's also going to give it a nice red color at the end. This only takes about 2 minutes or so. We just stir it constantly until it's completely mixed into the vegetables, just like this. Now, we are going to deglaze with 1 cup of Cabernet Sauvignon or Merlot. If you do not drink wine, just simply skip this process. We are going to cook this down until au sec or almost gone. You see how that wine has absorbed mostly into the vegetables? It's almost gone. This is perfect consistency. Now, grab 4 cups of good beef stock. You know, got a great recipe for you here.
So he's making the soup right now, basically.
We want to season this well with...
I mean, it almost looked like a Puerto Rican soup.
With salt and cracked black pepper. Now, make sure you taste this. This is the braising liquid that's going to cook our beef, so you want it to be well seasoned. Go back over to our seared beef rouladens. We are going to add them in one at a time all throughout this rondo pot.
Yeah, let's see.
Now, at this point, we are going into the oven on 325 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow. It's going to take about 2 hours.
Wow, man, all that process to cook all that stuff, man, really? Are we complicating this process? I'm getting a feel that we're complicating this a little bit. I don't know why.
For these to completely cook.
So we obviously have plenty of time here. You can go binge watch a show, read a book, whatever you want. What I'm thinking, let's make some homemade spatzle while we can.
In a stand mixer, I'm going to add in 3 cups of all-purpose flour. I have no clue why I added it in the way that I just did. Next, grab a spoon, and we're just going to make a little well right in the center. Once you've made that well, we're going to add in 5 large cold eggs. The next thing we want to do is add in 1 teaspoon of sea salt. I've got my whisk attachment. I'm just going to fix it on and then lock it in place. Then we're just going to turn it on low speed here. Make sure the ingredients are starting to combine just like this. Now, at this point, we have 3/4 cup of cold water. We are going to slowly add in there until it is combined into the mixture.
The
just
mushy
like
stuff,
this.
yep.
Now, once it is combined, let's go adjust the speed again because we're going to crank it on to hot.
Crank.
We want to mix this for about 3 to 4 minutes. It's going to become almost
paste.
like a thick pancake batter. A great way that I know
Wow.
how it's done is when I pull it up, it kind of just falls off right like this. This
Oh.
is perfect consistency. Now, you have the option of letting
Homogeneous,
this rest for 15 to
homogeneous,
30
yeah.
minutes, or you can begin
Very
cooking it
homogeneous.
right away. Totally up to you. Also,
See?
just another good sign in this is you'll see some bubbles kind of form in there. That's perfect. Now let's go over to a large pot of boiling water. We are going to season it with salt. I was always told the water should be as salty as the ocean when you cook in there. Now, I
What?
have a spatzle maker. You
Ugh.
could also use a perforated pan.
Salty as the ocean? Whoa. Man, I don't think that was a good analogy. Salty like the ocean. I don't think that was a good analogy.
Even a colander with large holes. Let's take about a half cup of our spatzle batter. We're going to add it right down to our spatzle maker. In this case, it's a little square, and we put it right in the center. And then we move it back and forth. It's got some rubber spatula-like pieces attached to this little square here. And as we move it back and forth, small pieces of that batter go right through the hole into the water. Now, the pieces are maybe just an inch to an inch and a half, and as they get heavy, they sort of break off and fall into the water, which is exactly what we want.
Yeah, that's
Now,
the little
these are gonna
thingy,
cook
yep.
really quickly. Honestly, maybe just a minute or two. They say once they float to the top, boom, they are finished. Now, because everything's not done for me, as far as the rouladens are concerned, I'm going to cook this in batches and add them to a large container full of ice water. Now, you don't want to leave these in too long or they will be waterlogged, but we'll drain them before we cook them. Now, let's go have a look at our beef rouladen. Oh my gosh, it looks so good, and the smells are incredible.
Wow.
Here.
Just want to give you a quick warning. Now that this is out of the oven, it
Wow, that looks amazing. Wow.
is go time. Things are going to move really quickly. Here's what we do.
Take each of the beef rouladens out of the rondeau pot of the sauce, and we're just going to lay
Hey,
them to the
Elmo,
side.
Elmo,
Plate platter,
threw
cookie
that
sheet,
one out
tray
to
lined
the
with
side.
parchment
You have to be
paper.
careful.
Sorry, that's just an old habit from culinary school in the restaurant industry. Everything goes on a sheet tray lined with parchment paper. Now, once they're all out of there, we are going to strain this stock completely through a chinois or a fine mesh strainer or cheesecloth if that's what you have. Make sure to get all of that goodness out of that chinois as much as you possibly can into that pot. Just set that to the side. Take your pot. We're going back to the cooktop. We are going to crank the heat on to medium-high. This is only going to take about 4 to 6 minutes. This is great timing. Let that beef rest. The sauce is going to reduce by about 1/3. At this point, we're going to finish it with 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter and 1 to 2 tablespoons of red currant jelly or regular grape jelly.
What?
This is going to add some really cool
That makes
flavors
no
in there.
sense. Why you
The
at?
sauce should be
Man, this is, I don't know, man. I'm thinking about this has to be what you have to make this like twice a year. But there's a lot of steps here. Don't you guys
Well-
think? Is he overcomplicating this recipe? I feel like it.
seasoned because we already seasoned it before, and as it cooks down, it's going to concentrate even more and be more flavorful. Once everything is whisked in, just set it to the side. Now quickly for the spatzle. I've got a large frying pan. I'm going to add in a 1/4 cup
Unsalted.
of unsalted butter. Once it is melted, drain those spatzle in the cold water. And we're going to add that right to this pan. Now, we want to cook it just for maybe 2 to 3 minutes. We want to get a very light little brown on there. Remember, the heat is on medium-high. That butter's already starting to brown and melt. That's all we are looking to do here. Be sure to season the spatzle with salt, a little bit of fresh cracked black
He liked
pepper.
this food
Give
very
it a good
salty.
mix. You could also add things like Parmesan cheese to it, fresh herbs. I've seen spinach mixed in there. You can do a lot of things here. I'm doing it very simple, very classic. Once you've got a little bit of brown on there and they're warm and cooked through, set them to the side.
These fundamental basic techniques, when you put them into practice and apply them to homemade food from scratch, oh my gosh, you're not going to want to go anywhere else. Neither are your friends. They're going to want to come to your house. But when you do these things over and over again, making sure the beef is rolled up tight, the sauce, the spatzle, all of those techniques into these recipes, it will absolutely help elevate your everyday cooking no matter what it is you're making. Okay, we are going to do a few things to plate this up, and here's exactly how you do it.
I like to serve the rouladens in a little casserole dish, or a shallow bowl is great. I also like to slice some of them in half because I want to showcase what's in the inside of these rouladens. The bacon, the onions. It's so good. Now make sure to pour a good amount of that sauce all over the top. Leave plenty in the bottom of the bowl just in case people want extra sauce. Then you finish with some finely chopped parsley or chives. For the spatzle, add a good amount right to a bowl. You finish it with parsley. Oh my gosh, I can't wait any longer. Let's get in this.
Wow. I cannot play that because of the music. Oh my goodness. You know, there's a lot of steps here and there, but again, this is one of those things that is mostly like, I guess for family, it's like a family dinner, but you have to just, you cannot make this every day. You have to just space it out, I would say, right? You have to prepare yourself mentally to do it. But when you do, oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think he overdid it? Or this is the traditional way to do it? I have no idea. Personally, I think it looks amazing. The little gravy with the little pasta thingy. I'm very curious about that pasta thing. Very curious. I don't think it's pasta, but it looks like pasta. Very curious. I guess you can eat that also with cinnamon and sugar. It looks like it. But I don't know. But man, that rolly beef thingy with the bacon. Oh my God. Man. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I would love to hear you guys' opinion regarding this video. And if you guys do this, or how often you guys do it. That way I can have an idea how many times I should be cooking something like this. Meantime, guys, I'll see you in the next one.